The cores of the galaxies circle each other. Finally, they merge. Deep inside the new galaxy, the old city would not be the same. The vistas we once knew would be disrupted, turned upside down. The streets going in different directions, all the landmarks changed. The new conjoined galaxy, half Andromeda, half Milky Way, would no longer be a disk, but more of a ball. And in its core, two supermassive black holes would orbit each other in a tightening spiral until they finally merge. As our new galaxy falls toward the Virgo supercluster, even more titanic collisions are in store. Collisions that will reshape everything we know about our galaxy and send it on a brand new journey. The history of the Milky Way, from the Big Bang to the Andromeda collision, has taken 25 billion years. But that is a mere blip on the timescales of the universe. Timescales that stretch out to the edge of eternity. Our galaxy is now entering deep time. The beginning of the end will be seen in the fate of countless suns like our own. Some 10 billion years from now, our red giant star will begin to blow out its outer layers in a fierce explosion. The result? A cosmic light show, the furious poetry of the stars. In the aftermath, the sun's core will shrink down to the size of the Earth, becoming a dim sphere known as a white dwarf. This violent convulsion will surely spell the end of life as we know it.
That's the beginning of the end, because life as we know it requires a sustained source of energy, and once you start removing starlight, you can't realistically expect your search for life to turn up any meaningful discoveries.
Yet a certain kind of hope does remain. Some have speculated that advanced civilizations might settle around dying stars. Even those civilizations are destined to one day fail. But as this white dwarf cools, something else might be stirring within. Over very long timescales, the star's carbon-silicon atmosphere could give rise to new life forms, based not on flesh and blood, but electrical impulses. With enough time, even creatures like these might evolve some form of intelligence. This is the final hope for life in a galaxy heading for oblivion.
The day will come where all the stars in the galaxy are no longer replenished with new stars because we've run out of gas. You've made your last star, and then the stars begin to burn out. It's as though someone turns off switches one by one. If you looked at the Milky Way galaxy from afar, it slowly begins to get dimmer and dimmer as the dying stars are not replenished, and eventually the galaxy fades away.
The era of stars has come to an end. What remains of this once majestic galaxy will be thrown off into the void or hurled into the center, where it will be devoured by swarms of black holes. Eventually, even the black holes will consume each other. You'd never see it, but you might be able to detect ripples in their gravitational fields. Scientists are now mapping the complex pattern produced when two black holes draw close, orbit, then collide. And what of that supermassive black hole at the core of the Milky Way? The dragon will be there at the end, consuming the remnants of the galaxy. And yet even it is not eternal.
We know through the brilliant efforts of Stephen Hawking that black holes evaporate. It's a phenomenon that requires quantum mechanics to predict and to understand. But imagine that here's this thing that eats everything within its grasp, but slowly gives off an atom at a time. The supermassive black holes in the centers of galaxies eventually evaporate away to nothing. That's another kind of end. That's a Google years from now. 10 to the 100th power, 1 with 100 zeros. That's a long time.
As the giant black hole enters its final death throes, it begins to radiate visible light. Its intense gravity distorts all the light around it, perhaps that of other dying black holes in the Virgo cluster. It grows hotter and hotter until, finally, the black hole and the galaxy itself come to an end.
What do you see?
I see like craters and big and small, tiny.
Yeah, that's what my mom said. Yeah. Mom,
It's right there. Straight ahead. Look straight. See what you naked eye.
And what lies beyond that final moment, a Google years from now? That's where the laws of physics run out and the imagination takes over.
Look really hard and see if you see them. And you see there should be 4 there.
And if you go to the
Up
right
on
of
the
the
night
picture,
sky,
there you see
the galaxy is spinning relentlessly toward its fiery end.
Wow.
But the Bronx kids face a more immediate deadline: bedtime.
The first time I saw the Milky Way, I looked up. It was as though the universe just sort of poured down into my body. And I happened to have a pair of binoculars with me, and I looked up at the Milky Way. And it was not just a cloud. As you pan across the Milky Way, you see the stars that comprise this glow of light that crosses the sky. And it can change you for life.
Our own future in the history of the universe may be very short, and in the far future of the universe, everything that happened here may be irrelevant, and we may find that depressing. But for me, it's a remarkable accident, and rather than being depressed about it, we should really enjoy our brief moment in the sun.
Look inside here. You see a little red dot?
Oh,
Okay.
Tomorrow, these astronomers will all be up again, ready to look for other suns, other galaxies, new worlds yet to be born.